What's up, everybody? My name is Rob Savage, and we're here with another episode of 600 Seconds with HYLO Art. And today's guest we have...
Hey, I'm Drew Barron, Multimedia Extraordinaire.
Y'all give it up for Drew Barron. You're Multimedia Extraordinaire. Let the people know everything you do, man, because you do a lot.
I mean, you only get 600 seconds, right? So, all right, so I'm a video producer. I am the senior media producer at the Columbia Museum of Art. I make music. I have dabbled in painting. I've just done a little bit of everything, you know what I mean?
Just all around, just Renaissance man. I feel that.
Man, I think all creative people just do everything, you know? Don't you do a bunch of things? We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, you know, you don't want to just be tied to one thing. Like, how'd you get started?
I had no idea what I was going to do for a career, so I just started making stuff up, and then I started falling in line with like a bunch of stuff. I just got lucky, man. I had a lot of creative friends, and they really like pushed me into doing it more. You know, I was like definitely like the stuffed shirt of the group for a long time.
Yeah, that's tight, man. Cause so it just kind of happened organically. You just kind of fell into it.
Yeah, a little bit, man. I mean, like when it comes to music. I used to play with my old roommate in like kind of like a punk rock, like really heavy, noisy band for many years. And then I fell in love with jazz, man. I went in a very different direction with what I started listening to and what I was interested in doing. So.
What do you play?
Play would be a strong word, right? Like I'm like a producer, which means I play like 3 notes at a time. And then and then when those notes are done, I play the next 3 notes. Yeah. But my setup right now, I'll just tell you my setup. I have a turntable, a Newmark on one side with the reverse button, thank you very much.
Okay.
And that's built into a mixer. And then on the other side, I have a beat machine and a Kai beat machine that I run through a computer so I can, use a host of effects or different programs that way.
Okay. Man, you got the whole thing in. Who are some of your biggest influences?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I would say musically, my biggest influence is a weird answer, but it would be Frank Zappa, man. Frank Zappa. Like, I've
heard the name. You got to put me on, though.
Okay, Frank Zappa is one of the weirdest musicians of all time. He is just out there, and he plays every genre. A lot of times in the same show, you know what I mean? He'll like really go from like a down-home blues jam into like just some like weird xylophone like instrumentation for about 10 minutes.
Man, yeah.
It's a wild time, and the live shows were always absolutely unbelievable, and really what inspired me the most was just seeing those.
Right.
Not in person because I wasn't alive, right?
Oh,
but
really?
in recording.
Right. Oh man, I love stuff like that, man. Somebody who not like tied down, like that's I love it. Like kind of when you said it, kind of put me in the mind of like Beck or somebody like that.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't say it's like a direct one-to-one, but I think he definitely paved the way for like artists like that. And I'm a huge Beck fan too, so I'm like right there with you.
Okay.
And then when it comes to like film and stuff like that, I mean, it's all the people you would expect, right? It's all the like great filmmakers in history or whatever. But there's a reason that we love them, right? Because like they're really great, and you can study them all day and learn something new.
Exactly. So tell us about the Columbia Museum.
All right. Well, so the CMA, as we call it when you work there. Is downtown Columbia. It's like right on Main Street. It's been there for 20 years, and it's got the biggest collection of international art in South Carolina. One of the really cool things is lately, over time, museums choose to collect certain things, and right now it's really been about American art and contemporary American art, and a lot of it's been some like killer like Black American art, you know what I mean? We just got a Renee Cox piece a few months ago. I don't know if you know who that is, but
put me on.
She was a photographer. She was a Vogue photographer in the 80s and 90s, really, really killer stuff. And so she does all of these works where she is dressed as Raja, the superhero. And the one that we have is called Liberation of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. And it's her taking them out of the boxes and forward in time and history.
Man.
It's beautiful. It's great stuff.
I love it, man. You have any more like upcoming events you want to tell us about?
Sure. Well, I can tell you about a project that I just finished up with Dalvin Span. A lot of people call him Mustafa.
Mustafa. Yeah, shout out to Mustafa. Yeah.
He's the man. He is the man. That's all there is to it. But so we just finished an album. It's out now. It's only on Bandcamp currently, but I think we're about to move it on to other stream platforms pretty soon.
Yeah.
And it is a electronic / hip hop / jazz, just free for all. Every song is a little bit different from the one before, but it all kind of tells like a greater cohesive story. We made the whole thing over late 2020 and then early this year.
Yeah.
Spent about 8 months on it. So it's full of samples from everything from Japanese jazz musicians to like psychedelic 60s rock and everything in between.
What's the name of it again?
It's Power Up. The album is Power Options. Mechanical Wings is the name.
Mechanical Wings, Power Option.
Check it.
Yeah, check that out. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, the ones I don't. No, I'm just kidding. I would say probably it's the little things that you forget about later on, but that you kind of get reminded of. You know what I mean? I always think I had this Ninja Turtle hat when I was a kid. I was really into Ninja Turtles, right? Because everybody was my age, and I always remember losing it in a fishing trip. I don't even like to fish, you know what I mean? But that like memory like sticks out in my head because I will always remember that, and I always remember missing that hat, which was a sad memory, but now it's like kind of like endearing, you know what I mean?
It's crazy, like time provides like new context to memories and stuff like that. I always find that fascinating. Yeah.
That being said, if anyone finds like a size like 3, I think it was Raphael hat. It was like his face. I would like that back. I'm gonna put it on my stuffed teddy bear at the house.
What's a place you would most like to visit, man? Any place in the world?
I have never been anywhere in South America, which it just seems like a beautiful place. I think Brazil, it just has all of the most beautiful people, and more importantly, it has some of the best music. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Brazilian music is phenomenal, and a lot of the bands that were coming out of there in the 60s and 70s that were kind of playing off of like the sounds coming from America are just gems. You know what I mean? Like there's some like really great stuff in there, like a lot of great hip hop producers that are out now, thinking of like Madlib and people like that, really have been digging those samples for years and pulling them in. It's great stuff. And so I would love to go there for a multitude of reasons, but mostly just to be lazy and sit on the beach.
Man, you put me onto a lot of stuff today that I'm gonna have to go home and check out. I have to check out some Brazilian music from the 60s. Yeah, find some new inspiration. I need you to make me a music playlist with 2 songs, right? A song for the day and a song for the night. What's on that playlist?
Well, the nighttime's easy, right? Like, so I would definitely do Round Midnight. It's Thelonious Monk jazz tune, the best jazz tune, in my opinion.
Okay.
And not just because it's called Round Midnight, but because it's just a killer banger. It's like such a great song, and it just sets a mood, you know what I mean? It's got a tone to it. Daytime's a little harder. I would say that whatever it is, it's definitely got to be off of MF Doom's album, because everything in that just feels so uplifting and so much like a fun party, but like because it's Doom, it's like all like corrupted in a weird way, you know? Like I just love it, and that is like my drive around the car, listen to the album forever. Right. So just because of that, it's got to be a daytime pick.
I just got put on to MF Doom after he passed, unfortunately. And you're right, that album is amazing, dude. I was playing Hoe Cakes. Me and my wife just riding around listening to that. That's my joint, man. I love it. Yeah.
Keep your hoes in check. You know what I mean?
Dang, that's crazy. So, what would be your like big I made it moment when you feel like I finally made it?
Oh, dude, when I get there, I'll tell you. Like, I never feel like I made it, man. Like, I'm my biggest critic, and I will never be satisfied. Like,
Absolutely.
I could be at the peak of everything, and I think I'm still gonna be like, oh no, something could be better, something could be tweaked, something could be better. So I don't know that I'll ever have that feeling, unfortunately.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we're our worst critics. That's just artists. I think, yeah.
No doubt about that.
Do you have any advice for anybody, like maybe kids look up to you and want to be where you are right now? What would you say to them?
Don't look up to me. That is a big mistake. But if you really want to do that, I'm talking to you, camera 3. If that's something that you really want to do, then my biggest suggestion is do something that you want to do, not do something because you think it's going to sell. You know what I mean? Like, I made that mistake for many years, and I tried to make stuff because I thought that's what people wanted.
Yes.
And it was always a complete failure.
Yeah.
And the reason was because I wasn't making it for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've learned over the years that the best stuff is the stuff you make for yourself, and that's what people will respond to. So
Exactly, yeah. Because if you're making it for yourself, that's a unique story that you're telling right there. Because no one else has your story, but people can relate to pieces of it because it's real and it's honest. It wasn't like something fabricated. Yeah, I feel that completely. So tell people why they should follow and support you.
I would refer back to my answer to the last question, and that they shouldn't. But no, I'm just kidding. Well, you know, I have a really weird outlook and perspective on things.
Yeah.
And if that's something you're into, then I think you'll really dig what I do. You know, whether that be in photography, video work, music, you know, or anything in between. It's not for everybody, but I think that there is something out there. In all of the stuff that I've made, there's probably something that you're gonna like. So, you know, just start digging.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Years and years and years of content.
Let the people know where they can find you then.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I am at Instagram at The Media Baron, and then I also run a video production company, and that's Render House Films, and that's www.renderhousefilms.com, because we're really original with our website names. Or you can just come to the museum and say hi to me and take me out of my office, because that's something that I like to not be inside of for too long anyway.
Feel that. So do you have any final shout outs?
Oh man, like so many, but I would definitely, once again, like to shout out Mustafa, because he's the man. He's the reason that album came out, and the reason that it sounds as good as it does. He's the one that spent all the hours doing the mastering and all that.
Yeah, make sure y'all check that out.
Yeah.
I think that's it, man. Y'all give it up for Drew Barron. Yeah.
Thanks, y'all. Really appreciate it.
Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Love you.